Makisode YouTube channel. Next, we have to find out what this is, because yeah, either you would have swatched earlier on to find out how many of these rows give you what you need, so that you know how to place your increases. Or like I like to do it. I because of how long I've been doing this, I can always achieve this as I walk along. So here I have like an inch, right? So if I'm walking towards a 16 inch, for example, it means I'm going to be having about 16 rows. I'm sorry, that's yeah, call it I'm going to be walking 16 inches. I'm going to be having this 2 times 16, that's about 32 rows. I have to determine at what points I want to create my increase. So I could walk 2 rows, create an increase, walk 2 rows, create an increase, or walk 4 rows, create an increase, walk 4 rows, create an increase. So if I'm going to be having 32 rows, for example, and I choose to walk 4 rows before I create an increase, it means I'm going to be having an increase in every, I'm going to have a total of about 8 rows of increases. All right, so that you will definitely get you an A line, but will it get you an A line wide enough for what you need? That is what you're going to have to determine. But for me, yes, it's going to get me an A line that is wide enough for what I need it for, right? Seeing that at the end of the day, every additional 4 stitches that I add to those rows is going to give me, I'm going to have a 4 times 8 number of stitches at the end of my work. So that gives me about that's 32. So I'm going to be having an extra 32 stitches at the end of it, so it will give me the right thing that I am looking for. So you determine what that means to you and your measurements. All right, so it means that I'm going to have to work another row before I work my increase. That's why I had to pause there to show you this. So I'm going to work another row, and then the 4th row is where I'm going to put in my increase. So I'm going to come back to you at that point and create the increase, and then we'll talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so I've just come on to the end of my 3rd row. So on this 4th row, I'm going to work an increase. So this is what I'm going to do: 1, 2, 3, walk up, right? And then I'm going to insert a double crochet, sorry, a half double crochet stitch into that same point. I've created an increase there. So now I'm going to have to do this at the other end of the 30th chain space. So if I did this up here, it's going to be 1. I'm going to have to do, so let's count together. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then this is the 15th. So at this point, let's confirm. So yeah, this was apart from this was the addition. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, complete. So it is at this point that we're going to create that increase. So between here and the end, we're supposed to have 15 still. So let's see if we still have 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, and that's it right there. Okay. Okay. So we continue, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So at this point, you realize that you've increased your chain spaces by 16 on either side. All right, so it's just a little wider by 4 chains. So we're going to see what this gave us. See, 2 inches right there. So I'm going to keep working this. I'm going to do another 3. I'm going to repeat this row where we have 32 chain spaces. I'm going to repeat this row for 3 rows for 3 times, and then on the fourth row, meaning the 8th row from the beginning, I'm going to come back and show you how you can create increases such that it does not create angles in the apparel if you don't want that. You know those ones where you create a tail, that is deliberate. However, if you're looking to not create a tail with your increases, I'm going to show you how that is done. All right, so let's continue your rows, same maintain, right? And then we'll see each other here at the end of my 3rd row. All right, it could be your own 4th row, it could be your 5th row, it could even be your very next row. So see you soon. All right, so we're here. This is our 7th row. Recall that our increases happen every 4 rows. So we're getting onto the 8th row, and this is where that next increase is going to happen. So I said I was going to show us how not to create unwanted angles in our A-line dress, right? Just because we're creating an increase. See here, this is where that increase from row 4 was, right here, and then on the opposite side of this we have the increase. All right, now we are looking to try to put the increase somewhere in the middle of the last 2 increases. Do you get that? So currently we have 16 chain spaces, right? So if I need to put it here, it means I'm going to have to divide this whole thing into like 4. So if I have 16 chain spaces, I'm going to be working with a 4 chain space before I create an increase. So watch this, just so that we do not create the increase in the same column as the previous one. So here I'm going to chain up, yeah, my 3, right? 2 to represent the half double crochet stitch and the extra 1 for the chain space. So I'm going to walk up 4 half double crochet stitches first. So I have this 1, I have 2, yeah, and right here I have 3, and then this is the 4th one. Okay, so this is the point where I'm going to be inserting my increase. Yeah, right here you can see there's no increase above it. So here I'm going to be inserting 1. I already have 1, 2, 3, 4. So okay, I actually meant 8, right? So I'm going to work 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then this is 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Because 32 chain spaces divided by 4 is 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right there. So my increase would go in here. My first increase would go in here. So now after here, I'm going to work another 16 before I insert my next increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So at this point right here, I'm going to be inserting a second increase. Then I walk up the remaining 8. You're going to notice I have 8 left to go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right there, and then 8 where I slip stitch in there to create my last chain space. So I'm gonna hold on to where the increases were, right here and right there. Notice that? Now look there, can you find the other increase? Smack that in the middle. That's the other one. Okay, so you want to what you want to do is for every previous increase, you try to place your next increase in the middle. So it means that I'm going to be trying to place my next increase. If this is where I hold my increases, I'm going to try to put the next increase somewhere in the middle, which means that I can actually start, since this is the start of my rows, when I start for my next increase, meaning the odd number increase. This was the first odd number increase. This was my second. So by the third, which is an odd number increase, I'll increase first at the beginning of the row and then increase at the middle of the row, right? While for the even number, for the even numbered increase, I'll be increasing increasing in the first quarter and then in the third quarter of the row. I don't know if you understand that, but yeah, essentially divide your row into 4, right, and increase in the first quarter and in the third quarter. Since you're going to be since you're going to be increasing, the previous one your increase was at the beginning of the row and at the middle of the row. So yeah, try that. Let's see. I'm going to walk mine a little ways down and then I'll come show you how to walk back up, how to walk back up this point. All right, so see you here real soon.